Is President Trump ramping up for Afghanistan 2.0? Just why is the man who signed the peace deal with the Taliban that fell apart now trying to demand the Taliban give them back Bagram? And is the Taliban, well, not really all that bothered by it? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Hit that subscribe button. So, take a look. Trump has tweeted, if Afghanistan doesn't give Bagram Air Base back to those that built it, he means the Americans, though it's worth noting Bagram Air Base was previously a Russian air base, the United States of America, bad things are going to happen. Signed, President DJT, which never gets old. Now, the Taliban has turned around and said, hey, Taliban said it has been consistently communicated to the United States in all bilateral negotiations that, for the Islamic Emirate, Afghanistan, our independence and territorial integrity are of the utmost importance, meaning, go fuck yourself. He said the Taliban seeks constructive relations with all states on the basis of mutual and shared interests, but then said, don't threaten the use of force against us or territorial integrity or political independence of Afghanistan, nor interfere in our internal affairs. It's necessary they remain faithful to their commitments, and it is underscored that repeating past failed approaches and a policy of realism and rationality should be adopted. Now, this sounds very smart, but the short version is that, well, the Taliban is essentially telling the U.S. to go fuck itself, right? And I think this is kind of interesting because not many people are willing to tell the United States to go fuck itself. But what I think it's most interesting is that so the president says they want it because the Chinese want it. He's like, oh, it's an hour away from where the Chinese make their nuclear weapons, which is not true. But instead, what it is something that China wants. And so the U.S. is like, well, we can't let China get it. And simply saying, if you don't give it to us, we'll bomb you. The Taliban are probably one of the only governments on the globe that can say, hey, try us, you'll lose again, and mean it, right? As he points out, the foreign minister of Afghanistan says, quote, Afghans have never accepted foreign military presence in their land throughout history. And he's actually being kind of generous, saying, listen, we can find common ground, but don't try this. And again, the fact that the U.S. lost this war in Afghanistan, the Taliban won, and that the President Trump is like, if you don't give it back to us or else, is kind of insane. It's extra insane given that the original Afghan peace deal was facilitated by Donald Trump. So this is just stupid, right? And you know, some people are like, oh, well, Afghanistan's going to fuck around. They're going to find out. And it's like, they're going to find out what, dude? Like, Trump's threat was bad things will happen. Afghanistan's like, listen, I've seen the U.S. try to do bad things. We won. We persisted. What are you going to do? Airstrike us? Like, you dropped fucking thousands of pounds of ordnance, hundreds, millions of pounds of ordnance on us, and you didn't destroy, like, you didn't beat us. So, like, try again. And, like, again, the fact that Trump, the peace president, is out here antagonizing these other forces, it's all so tiresome. It's all so tiresome, and it's so stupid. And it's just more proof that there isn't a policy, there isn't a goal, there isn't an objective. There's feelings, there's responding to vibes. Is it even important to get Bagram Air Base? Does it fucking matter? Like, is it like, hey, the Chinese can have it? The Chinese aren't building their nuclear weapons in Afghanistan. I don't know what else to tell you. No sane country on planet Earth builds a nuclear. They're probably doing have some contracted uranium mining operation that they're then going to move into China. They're going to do all the refining, and somewhere deep in China, in a secret Chinese military lab, that's where they're going to turn it into a nuclear weapon. This whole thing is just such a stupid farce. This isn't real policy making. And you don't do it with these kind of threats on Twitter. Like, it's just, none of this is how this works. And everyone in the world, to the Taliban's credit, everyone else in the world takes this very seriously, because they're like, well, we don't want to deal with U.S. airstrikes. We don't want to deal with this Donald Trump getting mad at us or not trading with us or sanctioning us. And the Taliban are just like, we've dealt with all of it. We've already dealt with it. We dealt with it for 20 years. What's another fucking 20 years? They're like, literally, we'll fight you until you die. You're 80 fucking years old, dude. You're morbidly obese. We'll just fight another fucking 10 years. It's nothing to us. It's nothing. And it's almost refreshing to see someone, as much as I loathe the Taliban and find them gross and disgusting as people and as an ideology, it's refreshing to see someone just be like, try us, pussy. Like, and guess what? You know what? If I'm a betting man, Trump is either going to do fuck all, or he's going to do a bunch of performative airstrikes, and he's going to tweet, "We showed those Taliban what the fuck's up," and like that's going to be it, right? That's what's going to happen. Or he'll just get distracted. He'll do some other fucking. He'll get distracted and move on to something else, just like he did in Greenland and Canada and all this other dumb shit. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You may have noticed that my content has taken a lot more of a strong stance on controversial issues, but it hasn't come without cost. I have lost tens of thousands of dollars in sponsorships and subscribers. So if you appreciate the direction that I am going and standing up to what I think is true, you guys can help me out by becoming a member at combatvetnews.com, right? Every Tuesday and Thursday, I try to drop the uncensored combat videos about the realities of life on the front lines for all kinds of different units. But it's also the best way to support the channel. I host it myself. You can also access all of my YouTube videos on there. So it is the way that I can reach you guys without having to depend on increasingly restrictive platforms that increasingly want to curry favor with the government by silencing critical voices. So if you can help me keep me on the airwaves, so to speak, and become a member, the link is in the description. Thanks to our Colonel tier members. You guys are the OGs. Guys like Yanko Georgiev, Bastian Himmerling, Michael Fry, Christine Schumann, Chris Holmes, and Deborah Oppenheimer, as well as all of our Lieutenant tier members. You guys make this possible. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe. See ya. Cheers.